Okay, well, thank you for that. So we've covered quite a lot already, and there's some very interesting reflection points. And I think if we can take this sort of final part of the discussion to really focus on the application of mindfulness to this, because we've spoken, I'm making words up. Mindfully, you can do that. We have
I love that.
spoken
I love solution.
conceptually about mindfulness and in relationships and the significance of it. But I think perhaps we can bring some very practical perspectives on how that can actually be applied and made material in our relationships. I think that would be a nice way to sort of bring this together, perhaps in a more tangible way for people. So, I mean, from my perspective, I think where mindfulness is a magic wand, but only in conjunction with other practices and other understandings and other introspection and reflection, is in creating the space to be able to articulate yourself in a manner that you can be heard. So in my personal experience, my experience with my clients, most of the most challenging relationships they have, be they personal relationships, be they professional relationships, or even the relationship with themselves, is the inability to articulate their position, what they want to express, without being overwhelmed by the emotion of the situation, and so that it's in a manner that could be understood and received and heard by the other party. So it's not just enough to speak your position even in a calm and composed way. You need to be able to excuse me, clear your throat. You need to be able to manage your own emotional content, because a lot of the difficult relationships that we're trying to navigate have a huge weight of emotional content behind them, and it's very easy to get overwhelmed with emotion, be it anger or sadness. So we need to be able to manage and regulate our emotional content, which mindfulness is so powerful at helping. So that's mindfulness is really, 101 at helping us recognize those emotions and allowing them to be in a healthy way, not suppress them, not prevent them, not push them away, but actually create the space so that they can come out, so that you can understand what's going on. And then working on the skill, which isn't necessarily a mindful skill. This is where we need some supplementary skills to be able to articulate ourselves in a manner that we to allow us to express what's going on. And that's often very difficult because, again, from a conscious perspective, we have a very narrow bandwidth of understanding through language, and yet we're feeling these incredibly complex things, right? The massive amount of sensation and sensory data that's coming into us every second. 11 million bits of data coming in, 10 bits of data in consciousness being processed. It's amazing the stuff that's dumped. Trying to translate that within the barrier of language is actually really challenging, which is, I suspect, why we have so many relationship conflicts, why we don't all get along wonderfully well, like happy gummy bears or whatever. And then we need to articulate that in a manner that could be heard. And this is, we need someone who's willing to listen to us and then able to understand and translate into their universe what we're saying. So yeah, there you go. So mindfulness, really, in terms of the core part for mindfulness, I think in that equation is the helping us manage our emotions in the first place, to understand what's going on, to be able to do the work to understand and regulate our emotions and create the foundation that we could then stand a chance to explain them to someone else.